I know that, this is sort of the question that's the elephant in the room. What do we do? What do we do to walk with our youth in this season where I think most of us have a general understanding that, wow, there's a lot here and there's a lot for everybody. It's hard to know how to address that because I'm not sure there's an easy answer there. But can you speak to that a little bit?
And it's so difficult when you can't just go knocking on their doors or expect them to show up on a Sunday into your church. It's very difficult. And I think that's why we have to be very creative. One of the first things that comes to mind is nothing for us, about us, without us, right? And so this is a perfect time for us to be engaging our youth. That sense of hopelessness really pervades when you feel so disempowered and you feel like there's nothing you can do. And it's unbelievable how creative our youth are. In fact, if we try to, as leaders and as adults, try to do this on our own for them, I promise you, we're missing out on a whole lot of innovation and creativity. And in fact, one of the best things we can do for them right now is create the venues for them to practice, I think, empowerment, to use their voices, to come up with their own, to initiate and create all these initiatives that they care about, and for us to support that. But really allowing them and giving them permission, I think, to take the lead. I think the second thing we can do is we need to model for them what racial reconciliation looks like. And what I mean by that is, as adults, if we're not inviting, right, whether virtually or physically, people who are different than us, and if we don't show that on a natural, organic basis, then we are doing so much damage. Yes, maybe verbally, explicitly, we're not saying, right, that we feel a certain way about race, but all of those things send inadvertent messages. And so we really have to take stock of who's in my community. Do they look like? Do they all speak like me, look like me, think like me? And are those the only people who are in my life? And when the youth look to me, is that all they see as modeling? Then I'm not sure we can say that we are promoting racial reconciliation. So again, taking stock of who's in our lives, making sure that it's visible. So in these times, the interracial conversations are so important. And so I'm seeing lots of, diversity even in this chat right now. I would love to see different people partnering together for our youth, creating that space to have that really uncomfortable dialogue, yet all within the love of Christ. In fact, I was just in a webinar, and there was a really uncomfortable moment where one of the white speakers says, I don't think white supremacy is a thing. Um, and you can imagine just kind of the reactions that brought on. And because it was done within the safety guard of God's love, the love and the grace that was shown in that moment to me was more powerful than any book you could have read, any money you could have donated. And for the kids, that's what they need to see. They need to see us walking the walk and talking the talk.